Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie. What if mindfulness was something we learned as kids, not something we search for as adults? Today, I'm joined by Mariana Gordon and Sandra Vakinde, the co founders of Mindful Mantis, a beautiful, intentional platform created with children at its core, helping young minds build emotional awareness, calm, and confidence in an increasingly busy world. Their work shows us that mindfulness can be simple, playful, and powerful for kids and for the adults guiding them. Let's dive in. So, Sandra and Mariana of the Mindful Mantis, thank you so much for joining me on my show. How are you?
You're great. Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for agreeing to come. I actually want to start off with one thing that I got from your website. It's an extract from the Calm Corner, and I'll just read it out loud so our listeners could hear. Helping children nurture their passion starts with teaching them to believe in their ability to manifest their dreams. When they learn to visualize their goals, use positive affirmations such as, I believe in my dreams and I have the power to make them come true. I thought that was just, it was, I'm telling you, it's life changing for a child to hear that. Can we start with that? And also for those of us that don't know, what is the mindful mantis?
Sandra? You want me to go?
Sure, sure. The Mindful Mantis is a culmination of both Mariana and my life's work, things that we're interested in, things that we've studied, our careers. It's our big magic moment that came together and our way to share that love for magic, storytelling, art, mindfulness with the generations to come.
Yeah.
So for me, the mindful mantis grew out of daily life with my children. Homeschooling gave me the opportunity to observe how children they learn differently, they feel differently, and they express themselves differently.
Yeah.
One child might learn best through movement, like boys, for instance, while
Yes.
another through quiet reflection, as I've noticed with my daughter. But all of this comes together through creativity and storytelling. And
Mhm.
we realize so often how the traditional systems they miss that individuality and they miss that ability to reach children on that creative level.
So
As an
that's how this was started through your journey as homeschool mothers.
Yes,
a-
100%.
as our journey as homeschool mothers and also wellness practitioners.
Yes.
As an artist myself, I see the world differently. I see it through imagery, through metaphor, through color, through a story. And I notice that when emotions are expressed creatively, children, they feel safer to express themselves.
So, why do you think emotional intelligence is still undervalued in childhood development?
I'm going to let Mariana start there. That's her
Okay.
specialty.
So why do you think I'm sorry, why do you think
Yeah. Why do you think emotional intelligence is Is underdeveloped, rather. In
so I'm actually gonna talk a little bit about my journey and because I
Sure.
feel like that will tie into what how I'll answer that.
Okay.
So, my journey was actually as a school psychologist. I started in the school systems, and I was working there for many, many years. As a school psychologist, I worked very, very closely with children who were experiencing a lot of anxiety, and emotional overwhelm, behavioral challenges, difficulty regulating their nervous system. And I also noticed how early these struggles began. So, what stayed with me was that feeling that we often are responding too late. Stepping in once children were already dysregulated, basically, rather than teaching them how to understand their emotions in the first place. So, over time, I kind of felt called to move beyond labels and interventions and all of that. And I just wanted to move towards prevention and more so healing. So the first thing that happened to me was I was already burnt out. I don't know if you have teachers or know of teachers or counselors or anything like that in the school system. A lot of us too tend to get burnt out because we aren't allowed to do the things that we know we need to do. And I, at that time, also was becoming a mother, and kind of motherhood cracked me open in ways that nothing else had. So that combination together, my nervous system was already depleted. I was, responsible for a beautiful little tiny human at the same time, all of that. So I realized how much stress I was carrying in my body for so many years and how deeply our children absorb the same energy or that energy, basically. So that's what led me into breath work, into energy healing, into sound healing, and all these holistic practices. I became a certified energy practitioner. I became a breathwork practitioner, meditation coach, all of that. And working with children, working with families, it kind of showed me how deeply interconnected emotional health is. And when adults don't have the space to process their emotions, that energy is felt by children, even when nothing else is said, basically.
So I know you still have to answer my other question, but why is it so important for children to feel safe at expressing their emotions?
Because we are all human, right? We are human. That is part of what we need to do is express ourselves. Being happy and sad and angry and all of the emotions is part of what makes us human. And, I feel like this is something so important that all parents need to understand is that this is something that the children need to let out because if they don't, they hold it all in, and that's what creates dysregulation, right? So it needs to come out, and then just having the right tools to navigate through all the emotions is kind of what we teach through the Mindful Mantis is what kind of tools can we teach all these amazing children to go through all these emotions, to be able to navigate, and also the parents, because, you know, the parents are actually key, are the first people that the children look to for all these emotions. They're safe space. Parents are where they need to come down to their children's level and say, I'm here with you. I'm present. I'm here. No matter what you're going through, I'm going to always be here with you. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
that is what,
I'd
yeah.
love to just add on to that too. I think that we're finally in a great space where we're dealing with emotional intelligence and emotions in general right now. We're coming from many generations of what people refer to as refrigeration
Yes, yes.
parenting. I know my parents and their parents, they were told by doctors and providers to have a level of coldness. Your baby is born, you put it down the hall in a crib, you let it cry to sleep, you give it a bottle. Children are to be seen and not heard. And I think that that disconnection, that dehumanization has really changed generations and affected generations. It affected my generation. If you look now on personality disorders, while it's borderline personality disorders that result in response to parents not attaching and bad attachment disorders,
Yeah.
bipolar disorder, all of those are the result of refrigeration parenting, where parents are told not to be close to their child. I mean, these babies are inside of you for 9, 10 months, and they come out and they're supposed to, their most critical, crucial time in the world, they're supposed to figure it out by themselves.
Yeah.
My husband and I talk about it all the time that parents sleep together because they don't want to be alone. But a baby in its brand new form
Yep.
is supposed to be okay regulating itself and sleeping alone so that the parents can have time for themselves and their parents can be happy. It's really heartbreaking when you look at it at that level
Level.
that we've become so disconnected that we've caused generations of emotional issues. And now you look around you and so many people are crazy and they ask themselves like why is that, and it starts with parenting and emotional intelligence, and by giving that innate foundation through that critical lens, the first 7 years are so important to give kids important attachment and
Mhm.
therefore that level of confidence as a result. We all have different parenting, and I know I nursed my children for a very long time. Co-slept. I still co-sleep with my 5 and 7-year-old because I want them to know mommy's there. Whether they're happy, whether they're sad, whether they wake up at 3 a.m. and need to go to the bathroom, I am there for them. And as a result, they're happy and emotionally secure. They're strong, they're confident, so they can go out in the world and have their feelings and have their experiences. But when a baby is down the hall in darkness, in silence, by themselves, not feeling the warmth, not feeling their mother's heartbeat, it starts something else.
Yeah.
It starts a detachment that manifests its way in so many dysregulations.
So, how can mindfulness help build resilience in a child?
Hmm. Oh, resilience. You
That
know what's funny? That's our actual, maybe Sandra can show it to you. Yeah, that's our
Mm.
next book.
This
Oh,
is the
lovely.
prototype. So this is our second out of 15 books. It's called Mio and the Stoic Spider.
Mhm.
Stevie, the stoic spider, teaches our main character, Mio, about resilience, about
Yep.
Ah,
weathering the
Life
storm.
love
storms,
it.
yes. It's
Yes.
not out yet. It should be out within the next month or so.
Okay. And you
Um,
guys are going to give us information so we can make sure our viewers get it.
Yes,
100%.
Okay, good.
100%. So, in schools, I often saw behavior addressed without understanding what the nervous system was communicating, right? So, behavior is communication, especially for children. So, through my work with families and women and children and all of that, I've seen how emotional regulation isn't taught through control, but through modeling the co regulation. So, when parents learn to pause, when parents learn to breathe and respond with awareness, children learn that their emotions are safe, right? So, this work isn't about creating calm children only. It's also about creating emotionally literate humans who can trust themselves no matter what, basically, right?
Would you
And
say that
like
the emotions are not obstacles, but they're really guides?
they are 100%, they are guides. All emotions are guides. So, our book, Meow and the Stoic Spider, is honestly so beautiful because it teaches children no matter what obstacles come our way. So Stevie is the little stoic spider, and Mio is our main character actually in all our books. This is Mio, the meditating mantis, right here in one of the books.
Yes, yes.
And he just pretty much teaches Mio not to give up. There's storms that are coming. So in the Mio and the Stoic Spider book, the storm kept coming and ruining Stevie's web that he kept creating, and it kept ruining it and ruining it. And Mio was like, "How are you not upset about it?" And and Stevie's like, "No matter what, you have to keep going and keep trying. No matter how many storms come your way, do not give up." Right? And then he taught him, he wanted to learn how to fly. He knew how to fly, but he just didn't know how to fly like, independently, and he taught him, "No matter how many times you fall, it's okay, just keep getting back up, and you're gonna keep doing it and trying." So we're just teaching these kids how amazing to keep on going, to be resilient, to not give up, right? And no matter what happens, just to breathe through everything, right? You can just breathe through it, and through all the books that we will be talking about, it is about breathing through your emotions, finding those tools to keep going and not, letting life storms bring you down,
I love
basically.
that
We
messaging. I love it.
We really think that this is such a strong lesson right now, introducing Stoicism at this young,
Yeah.
ripe, crucial age and teaching about resilience, because honestly, we are in uncharted territories with children right now. They're sitting, they're watching TV. They don't like something, they change the channel.
Yeah.
They're on Instagram, they're on YouTube, they're on TikTok. They just swipe, swipe, swipe. You want something, you go on Amazon, it's there the next day. Maybe it's
Yeah.
being dropped off by a drone. There's no necessity in modern life for resiliency, and it is building a culture of I
Isolation.
isolation, but also, dare I say it, brats, spoiled brats,
Yeah.
people that
Mhm.
want what they want, and if they don't get it, they're gonna look to the next.
Yep. Yep.
And that leads its way into adulthood, where you have dating apps. You don't like your spouse, you don't have to be resilient, you just swipe and you have someone else. This instant gratification culture is so isolating and detrimental to the human psyche
Mhm.
So,
that
yes, it is so true, exactly what you said, and it's funny, I've observed it with my son, but I think I've contributed to it in some ways, right? Where I've isolated myself sometimes from my son because I'm too busy focused on doing something else and allowing him to be focused on, on being online, doing his own thing and not observing certain behaviors or emotions. And I'm at fault for that. I admit that.
Yeah.
And
how old is your
Yeah.
son?
he just well, he's 17 now, right?
Okay.
So he's in his own world, doing his
Of
own
course.
but I say to myself, well, I see him and I see other kids, and I say, are we too late in addressing some of the issues that we see where now you understand why some kids suffer from anxiety, right? Because they're either not embracing what their emotions or
Mhm.
they felt isolated and they're not open enough to talk about it, right?
I
And
think
sorry, go
I
ahead.
I think another thing that's very critical that you're not touching upon is the mental rewiring through the dopamine, the passive dopamine. When you're
Mhm.
sitting and swiping, you're getting that dopamine, but without doing any action. You used
Yes.
to get that dopamine if you were playing baseball and you got a home run. Now you just sit back and you swipe and you get it. And that's what leads its way to the anxiety. So
Right.
it's building on a chemical, physiological level at such a young age that it's actually creating and wiring the brain at that young age. So by the age of 17, I don't know, is it too late?
No, I don't think it's too late at all. I feel like you can always step in at any time as long as they understand that you are there and you are present and you are trying and
Well, Marianne,
y-
I take it to the extreme. I've now become overly present where I'm
That's okay. That's
as
okay.
I
I
go by.
That's
feel
what I'm like.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfectly fine as long as they know that you are there for them, right? It is better knowing that you are there for them than thinking that you're don't care, right? So at the end of the day, I don't think anyone is ever too late to step in and be like, I'm here. Whatever you need, I'll always be here for you.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about manifestation because you ladies teach that manifestation is your birthright. So, what does that look like in practical age appropriate terms?
So in like young little ones,
Yeah.
so like for instance, my kids, I just tell them that anything is possible, right? You can, whatever it is that you want, desire, hope for, it'll be there, right? If you just believe, if you believe in it as much as you can believe in it, right? So for me, what I do with my kids, and not everybody needs to do this, and it's just something that I like to do with them is I like to get like a little piece of paper and I have them draw things that they want to do when they get bigger or even next year. It doesn't even have to be when they get older. It can be something that they just want, right? Or desire or need or just, and it doesn't have to be physical things also. It could be like, I did a whole class on this at a play space with some children where I brought pieces of paper, I brought kids' magazines and kids' newspapers and pictures, a whole bunch of pictures. And I told everybody, whatever it is that you love and that you like and that catches your eye, just cut it out, paste it, think about it in your mind say this is gonna happen. And it's funny because one of the little girls, wanted a dog so bad.
Yeah.
So bad she wanted a dog, and that is actually one of the things that she found in the magazine that I brought. She saw a little dog, she cut it out, she put in, she goes, "I am gonna get a dog. Miss Mariana, I know I'm gonna get a dog." And I'm like, "Okay, baby, so just put it there, think about it, say you will," right? And sure enough, the mom was like, this was like months later. She goes, I don't know what it is about this manifestation thing, but we got a dog, and my daughter said that I knew this was going to happen, and I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, well, she says that she manifested it, and I was laughing because I'm like, you know, it's just about how much for a little child, they don't really 100% understand the
Right.
full concept of it, but it's just knowing that it's there, right? Giving them the tools to kind of say, I want something so bad, it can happen. Why can't it happen? Just that positive mindset to put into that child. That's pretty much what it is,
So
right?
parents can model that
Oh, yes.
manifestation and belief without the pressure.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Yes. I just do this with the kids because that's what I like to do with them, but it
Yeah.
doesn't this is not something you need to do with them, right? It's just a little addition to it. But you as a parent are the most important person, right? So by you telling them you can do anything, anything you set your mind to, you can do, right? That is the number one concept.
So
We
sorry, go ahead.
sorry, we love that positive affirmation from the parents with manifesting. You plant the seed, and of course,
Mhm.
that's the most important part, but
Yeah.
then also showing children how to do the work. Maybe you don't just put pictures together, but you do the work to get what you want.
Mhm.
You set your intentions and then you go through the process to do the work and you create the dream life that you want. I mean, that's what Mariana and I did when we started
Yes.
this company.
Yes,
This
we
was our
did.
dream. This was our
Yes.
dream. We manifested it. We put the work in and here we are because there's this saying, what you put energy to has power over you. When you set your intentions into the universe, there's a whole wave of actions and reactions that respond to that. It's the law of
Mhm.
attraction. So
Yes.
if you're putting it out there, it's going to have a ripple effect and it's going to end up somewhere. And teaching children that they can create and shape their reality is probably the most important thing that we can ever teach them.
Mhm.
There's so many people out there saying, "You can't do that. That's not practical. That's not realistic." But the truth is, in this day and age, anything is possible.
Of course. Of course.
Anything.
Just listening to you guys speak, it's so exciting. It really, really is what you can do for children. But I want to go back to breath work because I think that's important to talk about as well. And why is breath work such a powerful, powerful yet overlooked tool for children?
So powerful breath work. Oh my goodness. For kids, for adults, for absolutely everyone. What I see is your breath is your key to life, basically, right? The first thing we do when we come out of the wound is we take our first breath. The last thing we do when we leave this earth is we take our last breath. So our breath is our life force, basically, right? So when you are able to just take the time to just look inward, calm your mind, calm your breath down, you are able to do absolutely anything, basically. So, these are the tools that we teach children because if they start young, learning how to do belly breaths, to do all these simple breathwork techniques, it helps them become the people that we want them to become, right? I wish I knew all these breathwork techniques when I was in a child, when I was in school. That's actually the biggest thing in our mindfulness curriculum that we offer in schools is breath work. We teach so many different breath work techniques, and and affirmations and all these other things, amazing things. But breath work for me is one of the main things that we teach. And I feel like it just helps children navigate through the day. Imagine being able to just take one breath in the morning, right? It just starts your day
It does.
so different. And when you're modeling it to your child, that's another thing I feel like parents also have to understand is that children look up to their parents. So when the children see the parents do it, they're just going to naturally do it as well.
Yeah,
If they see a chaotic, um,
it's true.
moment in the morning, they're also going to be chaotic, and it's going to lead the day into chaos and and being distracted and it's just
And a
but
sympathetic, dominant
y
fight, flight, or
fight or
fight,
flight, exactly,
cortisol
response.
reaction.
Yeah, yeah. Do you
Exactly.
do you teach breath work across schools online too, across North America?
Yes, so we do them in person and virtual as well. So we do both. We go to schools and we do our book readings. We show kids about breath work, a little bit of meditation. I have all my sound bowls that I bring and I do some sound healing as well. We do all of that. But when we do our virtual, yes, absolutely. We also do breath work. We teach all the same things, whether it's virtual or in person. And then our curriculum in the school system is already a SEL program, like a 12-month program that is in the school system. The teachers teach the kids as well.
So what
Something
Yeah.
something that we offer online is our course. We offer many
Yes.
courses. One is called the Mantis Magic course, which just brings home to parents and to families this breath work. So it brings it right to you. We offer 4 different courses per year where we team up with different children specialists, whether it's a pediatrician or a holistic nutritionist, different like-minded, like-hearted professionals where we can get together and teach something new. So we offer different courses, one of which is Mariana leading breathwork, and that's called the Mindful Mantis Magic.
Wonderful, because I know a lot of people will be asking me about that. So my next question to you ladies would be, which practice would you say that most kids respond to best? Is it meditation? Is it breath work or affirmations, do you think?
I would say a good combination. I have to say it's funny because children love anything new, right? So anything that you are teaching them that is different and cool, they love. What I do like about when we do our breathwork techniques is we incorporate Mio, our characters, and children love characters and storytelling and all of that. So I do think that the breathwork techniques that we offer, because of Mio in them and the way that we say, like, Mio, let's take a deep breath with Mio. He's doing his belly breaths right now. What he's
Love it.
thinking of is a beautiful ball of energy, and this ball of energy that's right in between him, yeah, there we go, yeah. That's right in between him is growing, and let's visualize it growing. So it's kind of a combination together, breath work and a, a simple meditation, right? So I do see that the kids love the breathwork techniques because we make them engaging for them.
Yes. Yes.
Very engaging, yes.
So my final question to you, to both of you, what does a truly mindful and joyful childhood look like for you?
Hmm.
Well, that's going to be different for every family. In my family, I would say stress free as much as possible, something with not with a lot of anxiety, a lot of creativity, calm, understanding voices, no erratic emotional outbursts from the parents, constant creativity, doing lots of art projects, crafts, surrounded by animals, maybe. So you're surrounded by love and empathy and unconditional giving and love, and a lot of spirituality and faith. We didn't
Mhm.
get to touch upon that yet, but one thing that they don't, well, some of the things that they don't teach in school are faith and empathy. And those are really important, stringent lessons that have to come from home.
Mhm.
You can work it in however you'd like. And in my family, we do our nighttime prayers where my children talk about what they're grateful for,
Yeah.
who they're grateful for. They
Mhm.
thank God, they thank everybody. And that kind of gratitude and love and faith is really what grounds children and gives them a mindful childhood.
Yes.
Because without that love for themselves, each
Yes.
other, and mankind,
Mhm.
you could get lost. It's
True.
important to know that there's something greater than us and that through manifesting, we can create the life that we want.
And gratitude is a cornerstone of
Oh,
being.
yes.
Absolutely. And Marianne, what was your
100%.
take on that as well?
Oh, I think 100% what Sandra said, very similar in my house, is gratitude. We sit in the table and, we go around and we talk about what we're grateful for. That's one thing we always love to do. Another thing for me is a healthy childhood, I feel, isn't always about avoiding discomfort, right? Or trying to keep children calm all the time as much as we want them to be calm and we talk about all these things. We are human, like I said before, and we are meant to feel all the range of the emotions, right? So, having a healthy childhood is going through all of that emotions, the sadness, the anger, and all of that. But again, having the right tools to move through them. And ultimately, I feel like our work is about breaking cycles. So children don't have to spend their adulthood healing what wasn't supported in childhood, basically. So it's about giving them the permission to be human, giving them the tools to navigate that humanity with compassion, with confidence,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything that Sandra already touched based on, because I thought that was amazing.
It
It
was.
was
It
it,
was.
it was amazing what you said.
It was. What both of you have said.
Thank
It's
Mhm.
you.
been very inspirational. So, Mariana Gordon and Sandra Bakinde, I'd like to thank you so much for being on the show. Before we go, though, where can everyone reach you? And please, again, the book, your I can't wait. See the Stoic Spider?
Great.
Right, yeah, Mio and the
So
Stoic Spider, yeah.
So our first book is The Meditating Mantis, and that could be found on Amazon. That's available now. Our second book out of the series is Mio and the Stoic Spider, and
Okay.
it will be available on Amazon soon. You could
Okay.
find
So
the rest. Sorry, go ahead.
you'll keep us posted. And your
We will.
website, can you please again announce your website? I'll keep it in my show notes, but just in case.
Sure. Our website is themindfulmantis.com. And
Awesome.
on our website, you can find information on our courses that we have and that we release, on our curriculum. If you are a teacher, a guidance counselor, a principal, and you're interested in getting our SEL curriculum into your school, we have all different options. Even if you're just a mom or a caregiver, we have options for you as well. So we have
Yes.
the course, the curriculum, our books also there, and we have a load of adorable merchandise. Lots of organic baby stuff and adorable crystal necklaces, things that accompany our wonderful character. You could find us at our Instagram, the Mindful Mantis Inc., where we're always posting new inspirational quotes, stories, things that we're involved with. It's really exciting.
Mhm.
And
So much
coming
information. It's wonderful.
even even more exciting, we're gonna be featured in a very exciting new documentary with Greg Braden, who is the manifestation king of all time. We're gonna be filming that shortly.
That's amazing. Congrats.
Thank
Thank
Congrats.
you.
you.
Well, you
And
have to keep me in the loop so I can tag it too as for my show so people can tune in as well.
absolutely,
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Jackie.
Yes.
Congratulations, ladies. Wonderful.
Thank
Thank you.
you, thank you,
Speak
Thank
we
to
are
you
you
so
so
soon.
much.
excited.
Thank you. Thanks for
It
joining
was
my show.
it was
Yes,
really our pleasure.
thank you very much, we appreciate it.
This conversation with Mariana and Sandra is such a reminder of how powerful it is to start early. When we give children the tools to understand their emotions, slow down, and connect with themselves, We're not just shaping them now, we're shaping the adults they become. I encourage you to explore the work of the Mindful Mantis at themindfulmantis.com, especially if you're a parent, educator, or simply someone who believes in building a more mindful future. Thank you for listening and for continuing to explore the many different facets of happiness. I'm Jackie Denise. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, be well. Take care.